Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little bit since I've posted a video, but what I'm going to do from now on is post a video every Monday. So you guys can basically count on a Monday video, morning sketch to kind of start your week. And then I'm going to try to do an art tip on Friday. Today, since I didn't realize that November had to do with dinosaurs, Dino-vember! I'm going to go ahead and do a really short little fun drawing of a dinosaur. So I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday. I don't know if the majority of my listeners, or I'm sorry, the majority of my viewership is in the States. I think that I do have some international viewers, so thank you guys for that. Over here in the States, we have Thanksgiving, and I'm sure you're aware of that. It has to do with the founding of our country. And it involves stuffing your face with tons and tons of food, more than normal Americans. And getting with family and enjoying and giving thanks for what you have. And I think that's an important thing. We all are so interested in things that we don't have. We really don't look at the wonderful things that we do have until, of course, they're gone. There was a person in my that I know who recently had an accident. He fell off a ladder, and he did quite a bit of physical damage to himself. And golly, it was very shocking because it was significant to the point where it was a potentially life-threatening situation. And, I'm sure that he's giving thanks right now for his family, and it puts things into perspective for him. So anyway, I'm going to kind of change it up. Instead of doing just a dinosaur today, I'm going to do kind of a dragon dinosaur hybrid, if that's okay. I like dinosaurs, but I think with dragons, you can give it a little bit more creative freedom. Anyway, so basically what I've done here, as you guys have seen, and if you visit my channel at any point in time, you'll see how I kind of draw. I start out, I'm messy. I'm an artist. What can I say? I'm messy. I start out with basic shapes. I have my, typically I do a line of action. If you don't see the line of action, then, you really got to look because it's there. And then I'll start putting in my appendages or my forms and start working on my forms and stuff. What I teach kids at the school, whenever doing basic shapes, is one of the things that I teach is called the bean. And you guys, I'm sure, are aware of the different shapes that artists use. And I'm just going to do a little really quick tutorial. The bean is just a very simple, it's basically two circles connected like this. And it looks like a bean. It's pretty simple. It looks like a kidney bean or something like that. And what's great about this is the bean can be morphed in so many different ways, and you can create so many different types of characters out of them. You can have a skinny bean. We have a skinny bean here. He stretches and squashes. Maybe the bean's really fat. He had too much turkey. So anyway, what I'm trying to iterate to you guys is this is just a tool to get to where I want to be, which is creating a character to which so we've got this guy, he's walking down the street. And then what you do is you start layering on, maybe he's got really baggy pants. It's got the gravity and the squash comes into effect because, here he's bringing up his leg this direction and it squashes his clothing. And maybe he's got a really loose sweatshirt, and here he is, and maybe he's got a hat on, and he's checking his cell phone. which is what we all do these days. We check our cell phones. Anyway, the bean. So what I practice basically, and I teach the kids to do, is to think in terms of form. Think in terms of this three-dimensional shape that is squashing and stretching all the time, and you're looking at it, and you're not thinking in terms of 2 dimensions, you're thinking in terms of 3. So 3 being height, width, and it's got depth. So it's got a back side to it, it's got a front side to it, it's got a top, it's got a bottom, and whenever light, let's say light comes in, we're going to focus on this guy right here. Light comes in, it hits this area right here. So this is going to be the lightest. So if it's a form, it curves under, and the shadow right here gets formed, okay? And then the back side, of course, is going to be lighter. And you've got the entire shape that gets cast onto the ground. See? If you think in terms of sculpture, you're sculpting a drawing on the page. See? Make sense? So the bean, practice the bean, do what you can to really just push and pull those forms. I basically, I like, maybe the bean's flying through the air. Woo! He's flying through the air, right? And he's got his cape on. Shoo. He's got the light that comes down. Anyway, I don't want to get too into this, but I just wanted to give you guys kind of an insight as to how I start a drawing a lot of times, especially if it's an organic shape that has to do with weight, weight and form. Okay, so you guys, what you'll see me do is maybe I'll draw a shape and then I'll come back around and I'll use this particular guideline to kind of go over and give an expression to the character. And what that does is it ties everything together. I don't want to sit here and work on this eyeball and get it completely finished and then come over here and do this, and what happens is you'll get a disjointed drawing, and it just doesn't work. So that being said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you guys on time lapse really quick and finish this out. And you're always stepping back. You're always looking at your drawing. You're always trying to figure out how can I make it just a little bit better. Keeping it loose, keeping it, I don't want to get too tied down just yet to my shapes until I kind of feel. And it's a feeling. And I tell kids that. I tell people that. Drawing, especially whenever you're dealing in flowing characters like this with really loose lines, it's a feeling. You'll know it. You'll know, you of course have your formulas, and your way of doing things, but to me, it's a feeling. It has to feel right. It has to feel right on the page. There has to be composition. There has to be weight. There are things that, I can explain with words, but at the end of the day, with lots of practice, lots of observation, excuse me, you will start to realize that the feeling, it's very clear, whenever it comes down. See, right now, his left arm's going to come down and it's going to curl out because it's got to balance this part of his head. So I realized, okay, I got to do that. I got to have that come over. And since his arm's kind of bending like this, you got to have this fat fold that comes around, and you got that squashing of the skin, And then since he's kind of chubby, okay, and this arm comes around, and it's weighty, again, peeling out, fanning out a little bit, coming around. And see, right now I notice this particular leg isn't high enough, okay, or isn't far enough because it comes out. Okay, there we go. See, that little overlapping line right there pushes it back. It pushes it. If I were to do something like this, then it would bring it forward. It all has to do with practice and recognizing those elements in your drawing that help it. You don't want to have a drawing that is confusing. You don't know what's going on. You don't know, you know, you don't want to look at it and say, what the heck is that? And trust me, I've gone through that, a large part of my career, until that practice starts paying off. And it will. The practice pays off, just so you guys know, it does. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy on time lapse. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, Mondays. Mondays are when I'm going to be posting my videos. If I do an additional video, it'll be on Friday. The reason for this is because just because the workload, you know, I want to be able to get you guys in the mix. I want to be able to take care of, you know, my clients' needs as well. But I still, you know, I draw every day. That's not a question. It's whether or not I want to videotape myself. And I did get a piece of software that I'll be able to do some digital tutorials. So anyway, thank you guys once again. My goodness, where are we? We're coming on the end of the year. No, I don't want that over there. We're coming near the end of the year, and what's going to happen basically is you have your Christmas, and I always do a fun, you know, Christmas illustration or something to kind of show what Christmas means to me. And I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm kind of thumbnailing it right now. So anyway, thank you guys once again, and we're going on time lapse, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, bye. Okay, so I stopped here right before I started inking this because I went to the art store and I got these markers called Winsor & Newton pigment markers. Now, I typically use two type of markers. You guys have seen me use the Copic markers, which are fantastic. I love the Copic markers. And I also use the Prismacolor Premier markers. And the reasoning behind this is because you can service these markers. I like the brush feel. I like everything about them. I like the variety. I like the colors. That's why I like these. Now, this particular marker, and I'm always on the outlook for a cheaper alternative because, I mean, let's be honest, at $6 a piece, these markers are expensive, and at, you know, $5.49 again, oh, actually, these are $8 a piece, and these are $6 a piece. If you're on a budget and money is not growing on trees, which it is not for me, I have to look for cost-effective alternatives. And Winsor & Newton typically sells this marker, I believe, for $7 or $8. But I was able to pick this one up for, oh, that's dark, for right at $2. So that's cool. Another thing is the Molotow marker. A lot of you guys ask me what I use for my white highlights. And I use the Molotow marker, all for one acrylic pump marker. And what's great about this one is this time, instead of paying $9, and that's expensive, $9 a piece for this marker is expensive, I paid $1 for this. You can look out for sales, Black Friday sales. Obviously, Black Friday is past. These are made in Germany. You can get these online. You can get coupons, but I highly recommend those markers. But we're going to try this one out just because, oh, that is really dark. I don't know if that's going to work. I was trying to show you guys the marker and how it feels. I like it. It's okay, but it's, golly, it's so dark. Now, let's be honest. On white, oh, you guys can't see that. Let's see this. This is probably why I got it for $1. Oh, crap. And there's another reason. Okay, so I put it in, and it just frayed the tip. Number two, that is a little bit darker than that. I mean, let's be honest. Oh, man. Brand new marker action. He'll have to go back into his house. So, sometimes we don't get to enjoy... See, that's too dark, too. What I'm trying to do right now is just put in some really quick tone on this guy. No, that is not so light. Yeah, some really quick tone on this guy, and then I'm going to block in the color. So we're going to go to time lapse, and I'm going to do a final wrap up at the end. And that's the wrap up. Thank you guys for visiting the channel. Like and subscribe if you like what you see. And remember, Monday is when I'll be posting future videos for drawing, and Friday is when I'll be posting future videos for art tips and any other fun. Have a great day.